Hey everyone, it's Bradley Bush with another algebra video for you. Today we're talking about equations of a line, specifically the general form of the equation of a line. If this is the first time to my channel, thanks for coming, and I hope you come back. Also, please consider subscribing. I love your support. The general form of a line. So an equation of a line can be written in the following form. ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and the x and the y are just the variables. And we call this form the general form of a line. If we wanted to identify general forms of lines, because lines can be given to us in lots of different ways, if we wanted to identify which of these equations were in general form, here's some examples. Let's do that. So example A gives us 3x plus 4y equals -2. Is this in the general form? Well, we have x and y on the left side, but we don't have the constant on the left side. So remember, we need everything, x, y, and any constant that's not 0 on one side of the equation and just 0 on the other side of the equation. So this one does not fit the bill. This one is no. Let's look at B. B is 1/2 x equals 3y plus 6. Well, we have the 3y and the 6 on one side, but we are missing the x. The x is on the left side of the equation. So again, this is a no because not everything is on one side with 0 on the other. Let's try this again. How about C? So for C, we have y equals -3/5 x plus 2. This is actually the slope-intercept form. We have the x and the constant on one side, but the y is on the other. So again, this one is also no. Are any of these going to be yes? D, example D, is 2x minus 3/4 y plus 5 equals 0. There we go. We finally have one that has everything on one side of the equation and 0 on the other. So this last one is yes. This is the only one that is in the general form. Only line is in the general form. The rest of them are valid forms, but they're not general form. Here's another example for us. Rewrite this equation, 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0, in slope-intercept form. So the problem we're given is in general form. So 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0 is in general form, but oftentimes we will be asked, or we will need to convert this into slope-intercept form. So let's do that here. The first thing we want to do is write down the problem. 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. We need slope-intercept form, by the way, is y equals mx plus b. So we need to solve for y. If we're solving for y, we subtract 3x on both sides, cancels on the left, and we get 2y minus 4 equals -3x. And we need to add 4 to both sides. Cancels the 4's on the left. Now we have 2y equals -3 plus 4. We almost have solved for y. One more step, we've got to divide by 2 everywhere. And we have now solved for y. I don't know if you noticed, but I dropped my x, so I'm putting it back in now. And the 4 and the 2 can cancel and give you 2/1, which is 2. So our final answer then is y equals -3/2 x plus 2. So we have our original problem, which was in general form. We've rewritten it in slope-intercept form, and we did it just by solving for y. Let's move on to the next one. So this next example says rewrite y equals -3/2 x plus 2 in general form. So this is in slope-intercept form, and we want to write it in general form. So we can do that. Y equals negative 3/2 x plus 2. So again, we want everything to one side and 0 on the other. You don't have to do this next step. I just think it's nice because it gets rid of the fractions. If you like fractions, you can skip this step. But I like to get rid of fractions. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. And again, you don't have to do this step. So it gives us 2y equals, when the 2 gets multiplied through, we get 2 multiplied by negative 3/2 x, and then plus 2 times 2. The 2's cancel in the first term on the right, and 2 times 2 is 4. So that gives us 2y equals negative 3x plus 4. So now you don't have to do this step. You could just take the y to the right and you'd be done. But I just prefer to get rid of the fractions. So I did. So now I have 2y equals negative 3x plus 4, and I need to get everything to one side. So instead of taking the negative 3x and the 4 to the left, because that's 2 things to move over, I'm going to move the stuff on the left to the right. So let's take 2y to the right by subtracting 2y on both sides. And that cancels everything out on the left. And I get 0 equals negative 3x, negative 2y, plus 4. And that is in general form. Everything is on one side of the equation, the x, the y, and the constant, the non-zero constant, and I have 0 on the other side of the equation. By the way, this is also the same thing as negative 3x minus 2y plus 4 equals 0. You could put the 0 on the right or the left. It's the same thing. Let's do one more. Find the slope of the following equation. Let's find the slope of this equation. This equation is given to us in general form. You can see everything's on the left side of the equation and we have 0 on the right. So we're in general form. We can't identify the slope in general form. We need to do some algebra. So we're going to put it into slope-intercept form so we can look at the m, meaning the value in front of the x, and that's how we're going to identify our slope. So we're going to solve for y. When we solve for y, let's take the 3x to the right. They cancel on the left. We get negative 2y minus 10 equals negative 3x. We need to get rid of the negative 10. So we will add 10. That gives us negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 10. Now we divide by negative 2. And the negative 2's cancel around the y. And we get the negatives cancel also. The negative 3 and negative 2 on the x term. So that gives us 3/2 x minus, oh, we've got some canceling here too. The 2 can go to 1, and the 10 can go to 5. So we've got a negative 5 here. So we've converted our general equation to slope-intercept form, and now we can identify the slope. So our slope is a positive 3/2. That's it. Hope this is helpful. Have a good day.